Yeah. Good evening. My name is Jacob D'Amico,
And my name is Brady Wolkin,
and I'm the co-vice president of the National Honor Society.
and I am recording secretary of the National Honor Society.
To ensure the safety of students and adults attending indoor public events, New York state law requires the district to advise you of safe evacuation routes from this facility.
At this time, please take a moment to locate the emergency exit closest to you. There are two on either side of the stage and the rear doors as well. In event of emergency, please exit in an orderly fashion.
Also, we remind you that in accordance with New York state law, smoking is prohibited on school property or in any building.
Thank you for your cooperation.
On behalf of the National Honor Society Executive Board, I would like to welcome you to tonight's induction ceremony. Please welcome Ethan Chen, Treasurer of the National Honor Society, who will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Will the audience please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
My name is Allie Reiser, and I am Corresponding Secretary of the National Honor Society. We would now like to welcome Emily McHale to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Thank you, Emily.
Welcome to the Wantagh High School National Honor Society 2025-2026 induction ceremony. My name is Victoria Ferraro, and I am a co-president of the National Honor Society. The National Honor Society Executive Board is honored to be inducting outstanding individuals. You should all be proud of what you have accomplished to be here tonight.
My name is Sophia Zanalotti, and I am also the co-president of the National Honor Society. In order to become a member of the National Honor Society, students must excel on both academic and personal levels. In addition to earning a high school weighted average of 93 or above, tonight's inductees have documented their participation in extracurricular activities and community service projects. Students were required to meet the standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Each student's application was ultimately reviewed and approved by the Faculty Council.
Before we continue, please help me welcome our honored guests for this evening's ceremony. From the Board of Education, we have trustees Ms. Tara Cassidy, Mr. Adam Fisher, and Ms. Laura Reach. And from the administration, we have Mr. John McNamara, Mr. Stephen Moran, Ms. Carol Ann Winans, Dr. Stephanie Scolari, Dr. Paul Gazzone, Mr. Nick Pappas, Dr. Christopher Whitman, and Mr. Frank Musio. And for our keynote speaker, we have Miss Michelle Harkleroad.
Please welcome Dr. Gazzone, the principal of Wantagh High School.
Good evening. Prior to addressing our inductees, I would also like to take a moment to thank and acknowledge our Board of Education, our district administration, as well as all our teachers, counselors, support staff, and other building administrators, and thank them for their dedication, commitment, and ongoing support to our students. Further, when you walked into the auditorium tonight, you have maybe have noticed a table with a cover on it full of treats. For that, a thank you goes to the senior members of the National Honor Society who wanted it to make tonight so special. An additional thank you goes out to the Wantagh 612 Association, as they have provided some refreshments for each of our inductees. So make sure to grab a little something before you leave, because if you don't, the leftovers are going to Dr. Whitman's office. Okay. I also want to give a special shout out to Ms. Dalamonica for her work with our string ensemble, as well as Ms. Harkleroad for being our keynote speaker. For those that don't know, Ms. Harkleroad is one of our more seasoned members of our instructional staff, not only in the high school, but the district at large. She is respected not only by her colleagues, but more impressively by her students, which is why she was selected for her role tonight. How did she accomplish this? By showing up day in and day out with a smile on her face, passion in her heart, and an energy that is unmatchable and undeniable. I recently had an opportunity to celebrate Ms. Harkleroad, and in my letter, I wrote, Michelle possesses a rare and powerful ability to build meaningful relationships with her students. Relationships rooted not only in her exceptional instructional expertise, but also in her genuine excitement for learning, unwavering care, and consistently high expectations. Because of this, students more than respect her as an educator. They feel known, supported, inspired, and seen. And with those words, I meant everyone. So when she speaks, please make sure to listen carefully. And while I'm up here, let's please give her a round of applause, as she will be retiring at the end of this year. And of course, what would this night be without Mrs. Cios? Ms. Cios every year takes on the task of being the National Honor Society advisor and performs what is required of her with the highest degree of care and diligence. She has charts, tables, and systems, tables, and charts, all for the sole purpose of ensuring that tonight is special for all those who earn the right to be part of it. So Ms. Cios, thank you. Additionally, I would like to congratulate all our parents and family members who are in attendance, as this moment is not only a celebration of your children's efforts, but all of yours throughout the years. Each of you should be proud of what your children have accomplished, just as each of you should be proud of what you have done to set the table to help get them to this point, and to understand the importance of scholarship, service, leadership, and character, which are the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society, but more importantly is what will springboard them into long-term success. Now for our inductees. It is an absolute privilege to stand before you tonight, addressing such a remarkable group of young scholars. My message tonight revolves around tonight's theme of always go a little further into the water than you feel capable of being in. You're just in the right place to do something exciting, stated by David Bowie. So with that, I want to share a personal story about this concept. 2 years ago, at the age of 38, I became a skier. A back surgery and probably 20 years too late, but nevertheless, a skier. All this started because I wanted my 7-year-old son to learn. I'd never skied before, not once, but I wanted him to try something new. So in order for him to go further into his water, I had to do the same. We started as all brave adventurers do on that ginormous Bunny Mountain, right? It was huge, huge mountain, probably. I don't even know why it's called a bunny. And as my son and I went from average Joes to ski bros, something happened. My son, full of confidence and zero fear, as all the young kids have, none of, he looked at me and said, "Come on, Dad, let's go do a green." And I did what you would expect. I rolled my eyes, and I said, "Sure, let's go." And so we did. We did a green. We did another one, another one. With every run, I found myself thinking about what I was capable of. Something that I had once believed I would never do suddenly became something I was not only doing, but loving. I started imagining what might come next. Could I someday handle a blue? Would I ever have the nerve to even look at a black? Fast forward to this past vacation, my son and I took a trip to Bel Air Mountain. I'll admit, I was hesitant, but we skied the blues. We did the blues all day. We did them the way, I looked at the blues the way a swimmer looks at the deep end for the first time, right? So that's how I, listening to this quote, that's how I kind of connected myself with this. And it was one of the best days I ever had. We had so much fun. We built confidence, we were excited, and suddenly we weren't just thinking about the slopes we were on, we were dreaming about the next ones, right? We haven't tackled a black yet, but it's now on the list. And when we do, it's because we dared to go a little bit deeper into the water. And that's what brings me back. Not everyone in this room is a skier, but every single one of you have challenges that scare you just a little bit. Your version of skiing, your version of going deeper into the water. And knowing it or not, you have already started tackling these challenges. You've taken harder classes, the overwhelming coursework, the assignments that felt like steep trails. You've taken on the greens, the blues, and maybe even a few blacks, but you didn't stop there. You balanced it all with service, choosing to give your time, your energy, your talent, and your heart to others. While many people stay in comfortable waters, you chose to step into deeper part of the pool. You chose to embrace challenge, purpose, and growth. And that combination, scholarship, service, leadership, and character, is what sets you on a path to achievements you don't even know exist yet. So tonight, as you join the National Honor Society, I encourage you to keep pushing forward, keep going a little further than you think you can, keep stepping into the deep water, keep finding your version of skiing, or whatever pushes you to discover what exciting thing lies just beyond your comfort zone, because that is where the real magic happens. That's where you learn who you are. Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Gazone. We'd now like to welcome Mr. McNamara, Superintendent of Wantagh Schools.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Certainly my pleasure and honor to be here tonight to congratulate all of you. As Dr. Gazone started, I'd also like to congratulate our parents and thank them for their ongoing support of our students, their children. As a dad of 2 high schoolers, I know the struggle is real at times, and I certainly appreciate you sharing our children, your children with us, and providing all the support that you do to ensure their success in our schools. To our students, tonight's all about you. You're here because you've demonstrated excellence in the 4 pillars that Dr. Gazone referenced earlier. But more importantly, you're here because you chose to be uncomfortable. The theme for tonight about going into deeper waters, you've all done that. Tonight's theme, when I look around at this group, I see people who have challenged themselves, have pushed themselves, have made sacrifices at times to put themselves in a position to be here this evening. And for that, I thank you. I thank you for stretching yourselves to be the best students you can be, and all the contributions you have made to our great high school and great school district. I often think, I kind of compare tonight's theme with, we do a lot of work here in terms of professional development. And one of the analogies that I frequently use with our administrators in talking about stretching our professional staff is the analogy of a rubber band. Rubber band's only useful when it has tension around it and is in tension. If it's just sitting on a table, it's really useless. And we talk about how to appropriately stretch people, right? We have 2 outstanding teachers right behind me, Mrs. Harkle-Road and Mrs. Sehos. You go into their classroom and you see them doing amazing things with students every day, and they have dozens and dozens of instructional strategies at their ready. When you give them feedback about a lesson, maybe it's 1 item or 2 items, something very small, and they'll add that to their instructional bag of tricks, and you'll quickly see them incorporate that. When we're working with a younger staff member, oftentimes they have far fewer strategies at the ready, and we know that it's going to take a while for them to get to a point that some of our very talented staff are at. So we do that in much smaller increments. All of you throughout your high school careers have put yourself in a position where you have navigated those waters. You've learned how to stretch yourself appropriately. And we're so proud of you for being able to do that each and every day you're here, pushing yourself to take an AP class or two or multiple AP classes. And it's been great to watch you grow over your time here at Wantagh High School, and we'll look to really see you implement those same strategies in the future. So every student in this auditorium, you've demonstrated the success and gained the respect of your peers, and certainly the faculty and staff here at Wantagh High School. So I'd encourage you to take a moment tonight to just enjoy the moment, enjoy the accomplishment. You've made others around you better, and you've made our overall school climate and community just a tremendous place to be. And for that, everyone here is forever grateful. So I want to extend my sincere congratulations to the newest members of our National Honor Society. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara. Please welcome Board of Education trustee, Ms. Tara Cassidy.
Good evening. As a trustee of the Board of Education, I have the privilege of seeing many student milestones. But this, the induction to the National Honor Society, remains one of the most distinct. Tonight, we aren't just celebrating your high GPAs. We are celebrating the pillars of scholarship, service, leadership, character, all of which you have chosen to live by. On behalf of the entire Board of Education, I want you to know how immensely proud we are of the work that you have all put in to reach this moment. The theme of this year's ceremony comes from the legendary David Bowie, who once said, "Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. You're just about in the right place to do something exciting." For many of you, your successes so far have come from discipline and preparation. You have learned how to swim effectively in the lanes that you were given. But being a member of the National Honor Society is an invitation to leave the shallow end of the pool. Bowie's words remind us that growth doesn't happen when we feel perfectly safe or completely in control. It happens when we feel that slight tug of uncertainty, the moment when our feet can no longer quite touch the bottom. That moment when our feet can no longer touch the bottom is the moment that you will shine. That feeling isn't a sign to turn back. It's a sign that you are exactly where you need to be innovative, to lead, and to make a real difference in our community. You have already proven that you have the character and the intellect to handle the deep water. My challenge to you tonight is to not settle for the easy path. Keep wading out. Keep challenging your own limits, whether it's standing up for someone when it's uncomfortable or taking on a project that just seems a little bit too big. Embrace that feeling of being slightly out of your depth. That is where you will find the exciting life Bowie promised. Congratulations to each and every one of you and to your parents. We are so proud to call you our own, and we cannot wait to see what exciting things you will do next. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cassidy. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening, history educator and college sociology professor, Ms. Michelle Harkleroad. Ms. Harkleroad was selected to speak by the Executive Board as a result of her influence on the students and her true embodiment of this evening's theme.
Wow, 32 years, and look at me, here I am. Thank you for having me. Thank you to the E-Board for inviting me to speak. When the girls came into my classroom to ask me to be the keynote speaker, I started to cry. I'm very touched. I would like to extend my sincere thank you to the Board of Education, 612, Mr. McNamara, all administrators, Dr. Gazzone, Mr. Musio, and all of the staff and administrators who have made this evening possible. A special thank you to Ms. Sehos. Your commitment to this evening and to the success of the National Honor Society does not go unnoticed, but on a personal note, we grew up together here at Wantagh. We were young women when we got here, and we're still young, gorgeous women, of course, but we have been here a long time, and we've done a lot together. Thank you to the parents, the grandparents, and the families in this room. Without you, this night would not be possible. It truly takes a village to get these young people to this point in their lives. I mean, it takes a lot of nagging and yelling, but nonetheless, here we are. There is another group I would like to thank, because without them, none of us would be here, and those are our veterans and active duty military. So thank you. If any of you are here tonight, please stand up. Thank you. I would also like to say thank you for inviting me to be your keynote speaker. I was truly honored, and I will admit it gave me the perfect excuse to go out and buy a new outfit. So thank you both for the honor and for the opportunity to go shopping. The biggest thanks, however, this evening goes to the inductees and to the National Honor Society for bringing us together. Congratulations. What an impressive accomplishment, and what a testament to your hard work. You should be incredibly proud of yourselves. Academic success, clubs, community service, sports, letters of recommendation. This is extremely difficult and shows your commitment to success. I will miss seeing your little faces in the hallways, but I know you are headed for greatness, and I cannot wait to watch you soar. The theme of this evening was inspired by David Bowie. He was a famous musician and artist, for those of you who are too young to know who he is. He famously said, "Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. You're just about in the right place to do something exciting." Going deeper into the water is a metaphor for pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. It does not mean putting yourself in danger. It means stretching yourself beyond what you thought you could do. Growth never happens when you're comfortable. Over the years, I've witnessed students stepping out of their comfort zones, and those are the moments I will never forget as a teacher. Several years ago, I had a student who struggled socially. He was shy, he was hesitant, and found it difficult to make friends. One day, I allowed my students to form their own groups for an assignment. I stood back, holding my breath, prepared to quietly intervene if I thought he was struggling. Without any prompting from me, a student who navigated the social world very easily stood up and walked across the room. He quietly said to the shy young man, "Will you work with us?" I will never forget the look on that shy student's face. It was a mixture of relief, pride, and quiet joy. The panic was gone from his eyes. He stood up and joined the group. From that day forward, he knew he had a place. He was wanted, he was accepted. Every time I put my students into groups after that day, the student immediately got up and joined the boys in the back. The young man who extended that invitation did not ask his friends for permission. He did not hesitate. He simply did what was right. He saw a child struggling and instinctively went into action with class and humility. At the end of the semester, I thanked my student for his kindness, and he said, "You know what, Mrs. Harkleroad? I'm the lucky one. He's such a great kid." Sometimes going deeper into the water is as simple as saying, "Do you want to sit with us? Would you like to join us? Are you okay?" Going deeper into the water can apply in your personal lives as well. How many great love stories in this room began because someone took a chance? Don't worry, I'm not going to ask how many did not succeed, but that's a whole other story for another day. Sometimes things don't work out. Rejection stings, but it only stings for a little while. What lasts much longer is the strength and resilience you build from trying. In one of my sociology classes, we were doing the unit on love and marriage, and there was a boy that very bravely said, "You know, Miss Harkleroad, I'm in love with somebody, and she has no idea." So the whole class, we got him all riled up. "You can do this. You have to tell her." I felt like Mick in the Rocky movies. I was like, "We got this, let's go." He left there, he was ready. I went home that night, I could barely sleep. I told my children about what, had transpired in class, and they were pulling for him as well. The next day he came back, and we were all waiting, and he walked in, he said, "She doesn't feel the same way about me." Well, he was smiling, but I was dying inside. He said, "But now I know, and I can let go and move on." About 10 years later, I ran into him at King Cullen. We laughed about the memory, and he told me he was engaged to the right person. And he acknowledged If that door hadn't closed, the right person would have never come along. I would have still been waiting. So sometimes you have to just take that chance. It's far easier to live with a setback than a regret. Do not miss your chance because you're afraid. I mean, imagine how many people were devastated when Mr. Harkleroad asked for my hand in marriage. I'm sure there's so many men out there who are still crying over the chance that they did not take. As a matter of fact, now Mr. Harkleroad cries about the chance that he took and the regrets that he might have. But again, a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Sticking up for yourself is also something I would like to see all of you do. Remember, people are going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. And you don't have to be confrontational or rude or get in a fight. You can simply just ask, I'm sorry. Why are you speaking to me that way? Done. Most of us will never be Rosa Parks, Florence Nightingale, Martin Luther King, or Mahatma Gandhi. That level of historical recognition is rare. But every single one of us can volunteer at a soup kitchen, a nursing home, an animal shelter, hold the door for a person behind us, speak with respect, offer encouragement, invite a person sitting alone to join us, thank a veteran for their service. Those moments may never make headlines, but they can change a life. I love this little success story about taking a chance. It's one of my favorite little stories. This old Italian couple that I knew pretty well. They are no longer with us, but after he served in the war, he had a little bit of extra savings, and he was a builder. And he said to his wife, why don't we get in the car and take a ride? They lived in the city. And she said, oh, I can't. I have so much going on. Come on, let's just get in the car and take a ride. So they took a ride with their friends in the back seat, another couple, and they drove about 2.5 hours. And when they got to this little horseshoe piece of land, there was two right next to each other, the man who was young at the time said, you know what, I'm gonna buy this. And the wife said, no, we can't afford it. He said, well, cut back. We're gonna buy this. It was $4,000. I think that's about $50,000 today. And his wife was a wreck, but he bought the property. The other couple were just about to buy the property next door, and they said, we can't do it. Do you know where he was? East Hampton. He bought a cul-de-sac in East Hampton and built 8 houses on it, and still they own one today. Sometimes you just have to take the chance. Fast forward, they're very successful. Their $4,000 had come back to them thousands and thousands of times over. As you move forward from this evening, I want you to promise yourself one thing, that you will go a little deeper into the water, not into dangerous waters, but into the space where growth lives, into the space where courage lives, into the space where character is formed. Just beyond comfortable is where something exciting happens. I cannot wait to see how far each of you will go. So I ask you all, are you ready to go into that deep water? Can I count on you to make this world a better place? I think I can, because I've seen you all in action. Thank you for this honor. Being part of the Wantagh family has been one of the greatest gifts of my life. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Harkleroad. At this time, the Wantagh High School String Chamber Ensemble, led by Ms. Della Monica, will perform Air from the Water Music by G.F. Handel.
Thank you to the String Chamber Ensemble. We will now begin the candle lighting ceremony. The lighted candle represents the eternal light of knowledge. All other candles will be lit from this candle of knowledge. I would like to now introduce Honor Society trustee Matthew D'Amico.
Knowledge is one great element in life which can lead to the highest success. It can be acquired through focused diligence and unwavering effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, and the light which illuminates the future.
Members of the National Honor Society Executive Board will now light candles signifying the 4 principles of the National Honor Society: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Please welcome the National Honor Society Executive Board trustees, Tanisha Athwal, Madeline Gilio Bianco, Kira O'Brien, and Shan Udell.
Scholarship. Scholarship means a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for education ends only with life. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their role through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Service. Service can be described in various ways. In the routine of the day's work, many opportunities arise to help others. Willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or without recognition is the quality we seek in our membership. We are committed to the idea of volunteering our time and abilities to the creation of a better tomorrow.
Leadership. Leaders should exert a wholesome influence on the school. By taking the initiative in class and school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to attain the same objective. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interest for the interest of others. A leader has the self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a country, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a substantive charge to each of our members and to the candidates.
Character. Character is the force within each individual which distinguishes that person from others. It gives each one individuality. It is that without which no one can respect oneself nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character which guides one through life and when once developed, grows steadily. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant action, daily striving to make the right choice. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others, to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as reliability, honesty, and sincerity, we may hope to prove by example that we value character.
I would now like to welcome Co-President of the National Honor Society and Recording Secretary Brady Wolkin and Jacob D'Amico to lead the new members in the National Honor Society Induction Pledge.
Thank you, Sophia. Inductees, please rise. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected, striving in every way, by word and by deed, to make its ideals the ideals of my school and of my life.
I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character.
Congratulations to all the new National Honor Society inductees. They deserve a round of applause. Members, you may be seated.
We would now like to invite members of our executive board to the podium to call the newly inducted students to the stage to receive their National Honor Society certificates. Please welcome Public Relations Officer Madison Rodriguez and trustees Kira O'Brien, Shannon Udell, Madeline Gilio Bianco, Matthew D'Amico, and James Acerbo.
We will be calling each row of our newly inducted members to receive their certificates. Please hold your applause until all of the members have been called. Will the first row please rise?
Nicholas Allen. Mia Amanda Laurie. Max Avina. Kate Benkovic. Justin Bernstein. Kyler Biesma. Grace Buffone. Cole Blaney. Jane Burns. Madeline Carroll. Max Katok. Victoria Chen. Michaela Clark. Matthew Cuomo. Lillian Conahan.
Cara Caseglia. Isabella DeStefano. Shane DeVito. Thomas Dillon. Evangelia de Troya. Sonia Esposito. Veronica Famillo. Caroline Firer. Katie Fox. Lauren Fuhrer, Leah Gallegos, Gianna Gilio, Sierra Gihuli, Addison Gottlieb, Charlotte Heron,
Jack Horowitz, Emily Horowitz, Michaela Highland, Charlotte Aiva, Ellen Jablonski, Giselle Jeffs, Nicole Katz, Cassandra Kelly, Haley Kissinger, Michael LaRosa, Jackson Lehrer, Olivia Magaloff, Brianna Manolia, Carrie McHugh, Samuel Mendolia,
Brody Myers, Cameron Mitchell, Emily Modica, Kayla Mondelli, Paige Murphy, Gianna Muscanera, Nina Myers, Cameron Nows, Samantha Nilsson, Catherine Odell, Lucy Olore, Morgan Pfaff, Elena Radosovich, Joseph Riso, Talia Rogers,
Aiden Saji, Gavin Scher, Brianna Sheridan, Donovan Skelton, Isabella Sleeper, Luca Sumbarak, Alexandra Tepperman. Sean Tinoco.
Erin Burns. Morgan Crespo. Sarah Garbowski. Kylie Hoffman. Dylan Loveland. Skyana Rothhop.
Are you posing too?
Alexis Schoenfeld. Mia Spiteri. Thomas Taggart. Annalise Sandoval.
Wait, congratulations. I called her. Huh? I called her. Okay. And what did you? Yeah, someone called her. Okay.
Please join us in congratulating the newly inducted members of the National Honor Society.
And now I would like to welcome back the Wantagh High School String Chamber Ensemble, who will be performing Hornpipe from the Water Music by G.F. Handel. Thank you, Chamber Ensemble. I would now like to introduce Dr. Gazzone, Mr. Pappas, Dr. Whitman, Mr. Musio, and Ms. Sehos, who will now recognize the National Honor Society Executive Board members.
At this time, we would like to take a few minutes to recognize the individuals on the executive board of the Wantagh High School chapter of the National Honor Society who are responsible for this evening's ceremony. We will be presenting each executive officer with a gold hood which bears the National Honor Society lapel pin. Each pin is specifically designed to symbolize the office held by each board member of the organization. Tanisha Othwal. Matthew D'Amico. James DeCerbo. Madison Rodriguez. Ali Reisert.
These are my secretaries.
Madeline Gigliobianco. Kira O'Brien. And Shannon Udell. Brady Wolkin. Ethan Chen. Jacob D'Amico. Daniel Donahue. And for our co-presidents, Victoria Ferraro and Sophia Zanalotti. Please welcome back our co-presidents, Victoria and Sophia, for their closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to begin by congratulating this year's inductees on this prestigious accomplishment. Tonight, we gather not only to recognize your academic achievements, but to celebrate the combination of qualities that truly define excellence: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. You have all shown unwavering dedication in the classroom, leadership among your peers, and a willingness to serve your broader community. Together, this range of commitment has allowed each of you to prosper as an individual, gaining crucial skills for a future full of success. Such promise is already proving evident now, as each one of you has been inducted into the National Honor Society. However, this is by no means the end point. It is just one of the many, many stepping stones that will come with the continuation of such qualities, even in the moments when it feels impossible. Our theme for tonight was chosen by the Executive Board, along with Ms. Sehos, and is based on the quote, "Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. You're just about in the right place to do something exciting," by David Bowie. Achieving greatness is not about perfection or security, but is rather about stepping outside of your comfort zone and experiencing what is unfamiliar. True growth arises from the times you feel slightly uncomfortable, or in the circumstances when the outcome is unpredictable. With remaining in your comfort zone, you'll be able to accomplish greatness, yes, but such outcomes will continuously be expected. By taking small steps forward, such an outcome will not necessarily be guaranteed, but it'll be that much more exciting when it comes true. I know that this is much easier said than done, and I also worry about immersing myself in situations similar to this, but this is where growth and discovery is truly possible. By holding on to this mindset and persevering to move forward, you can realize that the limits you imagined were never really there. There'll never be a limit to all you can accomplish. The only obstacle is yourself. If we wait until we feel completely ready, completely certain, completely prepared, we may wait forever. If reflecting back on each of our lives, it is probable that the most exciting moments began when we were not even sure we could handle them, but we still decided to try anyway. We put our fears and doubts aside and entered the doorway to something absolutely extraordinary. So the next time that you feel hesitant to go just a little further, remember this quote. Remember that success arises from taking chances. It comes from stretching ourselves out, joining one more club, taking one more AP class, running for one more position. With taking these chances, perhaps you'll be exactly where something exciting is just about to begin. Once again, I'd like to congratulate you on this remarkable accomplishment. I wish you all the best of luck, and I know that each and every one of you will continue to pursue amazing things. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria, and good evening, everyone. And I would like to thank you all for the final time tonight for coming to support the exceptionally talented inductees before us. Inductees, you've all more than proved yourselves as not only scholars and active members of our community, but as leaders and people of proper character. On top of being stellar students, you've also had to serve your community in multiple ways, whether it be volunteering at local organizations, organizing donation drives, or something as simple as showing up every week to collect garbage bins from our classrooms. Intelligence can manifest in a multitude of ways, not all pertaining to education, and you are all here tonight because you possess a variety of those intellects. Some of you are at the top of your chosen fields. Others, like myself, tend to favor doing everything, spreading your attention over a variety of different clubs, sports, and extracurricular activities. However, I stand before you tonight as your National Honor Society co-president, not because I am the most decorated scholar, nor the most melodic singer, and certainly not the most impressive athlete, but because of my ambition. Eloquence isn't in my nature, so I won't bother feigning it, but I think I'll find more success in speaking from experience. I'm sure all the faculty on stage and the parents in the audience are internally giggling at the 17-year-old girl talking about life experience, but bear with me because I believe I might have something of relevance to the younger people in the crowd. Those who knew me my sophomore year can attest that the most decorated scholar is definitely not a title that I would bestow upon myself. During the school year, I was working 40-hour weeks at a catering hall, up to my neck in homework from AP Euro and AP Seminar, and add into that sports, volunteering, and just trying to see the sun every once in a while. It was a little rough. My ambitions have always been plenty grand, and packing my schedule has always been my instinct, but it's in mustering the drive and dedication to follow through on those commitments that I haven't always found success. I figured it out eventually, but it was by far the most I've ever had to struggle just to find balance. You will all face a similar situation at one point if you haven't already, but now is when you must determine how you will proceed when it happens. Will you swim past where you currently stand, or will you join the masses sitting safely at the shore? I dared to go deeper, yet I was drowning because I didn't yet have the knowledge to keep myself afloat. As awful as it may have been, I've since learned the effort it takes to support true ambition, and I've applied it every day since to make it worth it. I knew I could do it all if I just put in the effort, but I had to surpass my limits and fail before I could understand where they truly lie. I'd take a busy schedule and a little bit of suffering over any day over the comfort of staying close to the shallow end. After all, that ambition is why I am the one up here and not one of my many peers who I had thought to be much more impressive. Our challenges may not be the same, but I urge you to take one nonetheless. Don't consider the feasibility of a situation when deciding whether or not to do it. Just go for it. Swim a little bit further away from your comfort area, regardless of how much effort it may take. The very worst that could happen is that it doesn't work out, and you still walk away with the satisfaction of knowing you tried when countless others didn't. Many challenges will bring failure, but having the courage to get back up after will lead to your success. I don't want to speak in absolutes, but you will be hard-pressed to find a professional athlete who never showed up early or stayed after practice. Even David Bowie, our man of honor tonight, was not an instant American success. His first album wasn't a hit, his second was, and even then, his first big concert wasn't in the United States wasn't until 3 years after Space Oddity's release. You don't have to be the best in any one particular genre or sport, but push yourself to be. At least attempt to maximize your capabilities in everything you try. Intellect can be found in different places, and I know that you are all capable of achieving intelligence in anything you try. However, you'll never know your limits until you approach them, and you'll never find that if your feet are always touching the sand. Every single one of you in this room has been chosen because you have dozens of people who believe that you can not just survive, but thrive from a challenge. You should all be very proud of yourselves for being here tonight, but I hope that many of you will take one step further in your membership. Become a more active leader in your community, or even apply for an officer position, whether or not there may be other applicants you deem to be more qualified. Everyone here on this stage, the inductees surrounding you, and the parents in the audience are all here because they want you to succeed. As soon as you make it through your first challenge, I guarantee you that you will be excited for the next one. And when that happens, know that we will all be there waiting to help you along. I would like to thank you all one last time for coming, and I hope you understand that this induction is not only an honor, but a gateway to the future to the futures you all have the potential to fulfill.
Thank you, Victoria and Sophia. And I would also like to thank the entire National Honor Society Executive Board for such a great night. Administration, high school, superintendents, Board of Ed, thank you for being the supportive, amazing family that we have here at Wantagh High School. That's all I have to say. So right now, the National Honor Society Executive Board would once again like to congratulate tonight's inductees on their achievements and thank all the students and supportive families and friends for joining us this evening and for Ms. Harkerode for being our keynote speaker. Yes, we go back a very, very, very long time, and I will miss you. Okay, so right now we would like to invite you to join us for refreshments provided by the 612 Association and our senior members in the National Honor Society in the main lobby immediately after the recessional. So right now, inductees, please rise.